actually thinking. This is Rob's rant.
I might have to let it drop. Let it drop.
All right. This is the part of the show where we stop pretending everything makes sense, where the noise gets turned down and common sense gets turned up, where patterns get called out and excuses don't get airtime. Let's get into it. Let's talk about something that has quietly taken over modern life. Somewhere along the way, everyone became an expert. Not trained, not educated, not experienced, just confident. Now listen. I love that we live in a time where information is elsewhere, everywhere, but you can learn almost anything today. You want to fix a sink? There's a video. You want to rebuild an engine? There's a video. You want to learn guitar, physics, cooking, carpentry, history? The internet is the greatest library in human history. But somewhere along the way, something weird happened. Access to information got confused with understanding it. People don't study anymore. They skim. They don't research. They scroll. Someone watches 3 clips, reads half an article, listens to 1 podcast, and suddenly walks around like they're briefing the Pentagon. You see it everywhere now. People arguing geopolitics like they're running the State Department. People debating medical science like they've been practicing medicine since 1997. People explaining economics like they personally balanced the federal budget during the Clinton administration. And the confidence? Oh, the confidence. That's the best part. Because less someone understands a topic, the more confident they usually are about it. This is a psychology name for this, and it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is a fancy scientific way of saying people who know the least often believe they know the most. And social media put that phenomenon on steroids because the internet rewards confidence, not accuracy. The loudest voice wins. The boldest claim spreads fastest. The angriest take gets the most clicks. Sorry, I lost my place. So now the entire culture runs on what I like to call Google confidence. You know the type. Someone who spends 6 minutes researching something, and now they're correcting everyone at the dinner table. Oh, actually, the geopolitical dynamics of the South China Sea are very complex. Yeah? You learned that 15 minutes ago while waiting for DoorDash? And the podcast made this even more fascinating because podcasts are great. You get long conversation, interesting guests, deep ideas, but here's the catch. Listening to smart people talk does not automatically make you one. You can listen to 100 hours of aviation podcast. You're still not cleared to land a 747. You can binge medical interviews all weekend, but don't perform surgery on anyone Monday morning. But wait, I forgot. You did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Anyways, now we live in a culture where exposure to information creates instant authority. People repeat things they heard 2 days ago like they've been studying it for 20 years. And the funny part, the people who actually are experts usually sound more cautious because real knowledge comes with humility. The more you learn about something, the more you realize how much you don't know. That's why real scientists say things like evidence suggests and current data indicates and further research is needed. Meanwhile, some guy on the internet with a microphone and a ring light is saying, I've cracked the whole system. Sure you did, Dave, between TikTok video and microwave burritos. And look, this isn't just politics. This happens everywhere. Fitness, finance, medicine. technology, history, nutrition, you name it, I can go on. One week, the internet decides coffee will kill you. The next week, coffee is a miracle longevity drug that you put up your anus. The week after that, it causes existential despair and taxes your mitochondria. Those are those cell things inside your body that do things like stuff. Yeah, see, I don't study science and think I know what mitochondria is. Nobody knows, but everybody speaks like they do. The funniest part is watching internet debates because people argue about incredibly complicated topics with the same tone they're arguing about pizza topics. Bro, you're wrong about NATO expansion. Sir, you learned what NATO was Thursday. Oh, that's right. Now, don't get me wrong. Curiosity is a great thing. Learning is a great thing. Exploring ideas is a great thing. The problem isn't curiosity, the problem is certainty. Certainty without understanding, confidence without study, opinion without perspective. Because knowledge used to take the time, years sometimes, decades, generations, millennia. People apprenticed, studied, practiced, failed, died. Someone started over and learned where they left off if they left enough information. Today, people want the conclusion without the journey, the headline without the context, the answer without the work. But wisdom still works the old-fashioned way, slow, messy, humbling. And here's the irony. The internet has made knowledge easier to access than ever before. But humility, that still has to be learned the hard way. Because the smartest people in the room usually say something like this: I might be wrong, but, and the loudest person in the room usually says, everyone else is wrong, except me, and you maybe, and that hot chick over there. And if the last few years have taught us anything, it's that confidence is not the same thing as competence. So maybe the real skill worth bringing back isn't expertise, it's curiosity, to ask questions. It's listening before speaking, and occasionally admitting, I don't know, which might be the most intelligent sentence anyone can say in 2026. And speaking of how words and ideas get twisted in modern culture, let's take a closer look at that. Because when language starts changing meanings, reality usually isn't far behind. That's coming up next, the deep turn.